right. Good evening, good afternoon. I hope I'm audible. Type Y in the chat box if you can hear me. And thank you for joining on this Saturday afternoon. One more time. Yes. Type Y in the chat box, just checking. Yes, thank you so much. You can hear me loud and clear. Perfect, thank you. Right. So we are here for one more learning journey that happens every single Saturday at 2 p.m. We are a little late today due to some technical issues I was facing, but I hope that is okay. Let's, the recording will be anyways available to you on the YouTube channel. So thank you so much for your time today, and we'll try to learn the most common mistakes that our job seekers make. And I'll also give you some pro tips based on my experience as to how to avoid these mistakes. Yes. So if you are able to hear me loud and clear, just give me a thumbs up and then we'll begin. Yeah. So what are the most common mistakes? The first common mistake is, of course, lack of understanding of true potential. So we all have some true potentials based on our skills and learnings we had so far, and we don't understand our true potential, right? So one of the best ways to do true potential, identify our true potential is what? Can you put in the chat box? What is one of the best way to understand our true potential? You can put in the chat box. Some of you are watching me on YouTube, some of you are on Zoom, so you can just keep chatting and then I'll take it from there. Yes, so how do you identify your true potential? What is the best way to do it? What is it? Let's understand. What is the way to understand your true potential? How do you identify? What is the method? We understood some method, we learned some methods, yes? What is that method? What do you call that method? Yes, SWOT analysis. Absolutely. Thank you, Lakshmi, for that answer. It is SWOT analysis, right? So we have learned how to do the SWOT analysis, and that is one of the easiest way to identify our key strengths. And what happens if we don't understand our skills and don't understand our true potential? It becomes difficult to explain our key strengths to the recruiter. Let's say we have not done our homework, we don't know what is our skills, we don't know what is our strength. When you go for this job interviews, you cannot explain the key strengths that you have to the job recruiter. So that becomes a problem, right? It becomes difficult. It also becomes difficult to understand what job fits your skills and qualification. We'll all have certain skills. We all have certain educational qualifications. And if we don't do our homework, if we don't do our proper analysis, it becomes difficult to understand what kind of job actually fits based on our skills and qualification. We have so many different kinds of job opportunities available for the same qualified professional. So if you have done B.Pharm, there are so many different types of jobs available for B.Pharms. If you have done M.Pharm, there are so many different types of jobs which are available for M.Pharm, right? And everyone's skills and knowledge is different. Even though you have done the same degree, our knowledge and skills are always different. So it is very important for us to understand what are our key strengths, where do we actually fit in, and for this we have to understand who we are as a person. And how do we do this? Very easy. Another problem that happens if you don't do your analysis is you cannot search the right job. You'll just keep on applying different types of job. Whatever comes on your way, you'll just keep on applying, and you'll not be hitting the right job. You'll not be applying and reaching out to the right job, right? So it's very, very important for us to first understand who we are, what is our strength, what is our skills, and what is our different qualifications that we have done, and what is our key learnings from the past qualifications, right? And how do we do this? Easy way is to do our personal SWOT analysis. And SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, and everyone has a different kind of analysis. So each one of us should do the SWOT analysis and understand what are our strengths and weaknesses, and start working on the weaknesses and the skills that we need, right? So this way we understand who we are as a person, and this definitely helps us to get the right kind of opportunity. So that was the first requirement, or this first mistake that we do. First mistake is lack of understanding of true potential. The second mistake that we do is not being on LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn is today the world's top opportunity, top platform, not just as a business platform, but also for job seekers and recruiters. So it is being used increasingly by both the recruiters and job search professionals, and it is so important for all of us to be present on LinkedIn. Being present on LinkedIn exposes you to 850 million plus people who are on LinkedIn already, right? So if you are on LinkedIn, you can reach out to all these 850 million people from more than 200 countries, and you can showcase your skills and talents, get connected to them, and get the right kind of opportunity, right? And not being on LinkedIn means what? You're not reachable to those countless number of HRs who are present on LinkedIn, right? So if you're not on LinkedIn, you're not reachable to them. You are not being accessible to them. Another thing that happens is if you're not there, sorry, if you're not there, you actually miss out those countless number of opportunities. Every single day, so many new opportunities are being posted on LinkedIn. And if you're not there, then you are missing out those opportunities. If you're not on LinkedIn, you don't get connected to professionals from the same field. So let's say if you're a pharmacist, you can connect to so many different pharmacy professionals across the world. And if you build connections, the right kind of connections, you can actually learn a lot from them, right? So being present there makes a lot of difference. And what is the most important thing? Why you have to be present on LinkedIn? Your network is your net worth, right? And that can be built with LinkedIn. It takes little time, but once you start doing it right, it is not a difficult task. So start being present on LinkedIn, start making a profile on LinkedIn. And this way, what happens, you can actually start showcasing your talent and strengths to people across the globe. And this way you can connect to the right people. And then when the right opportunity comes, you can actually grab them from LinkedIn itself, right? So that was the second mistake, not being present on LinkedIn, right? And I've done a lot of videos on my channel on LinkedIn, so you may watch them whenever you are free. Go to the playlist called Personal Development, and you have this playlist there, and just watch them and you can learn from them, right? The third mistake that most job seekers make is not researching the company and the industry, right? So that is also a big problem. If we don't research a company and industry, what happens? You will not be able to apply to the right company and right industry, right? And you'll not be able to understand what are the different opportunities that present in the industry today. So researching a company and the industry itself is so very important, right? Even though you are a pharmacist, you can apply jobs in other healthcare industries, hospitals, and there are so many other industries where you can work. But if you don't do that research, you'll not find out what kind of opportunities are there, right? So on my YouTube channel, if you say there is a playlist called Pharmacy Careers, and we have more than 60 different kind of opportunities that we have created these webinars from. And all these experts from industry, they have spoken about their journey, and they have told us what are those opportunities where you can actually try and get in, right? So not researching the company and the industry is the third major mistake. And what it showcases that we lack interest, right? So let's say we have not done the research about the company. It simply showcases that we have not done our interest. We don't have that interest to do this. And the second thing is we won't be able to answer the basic questions which a company asks. So let's say you go to a company for an interview. If you have not done the research about the company and the recruiter asks you some basic questions about the company, its vision, mission, products, and services, if you have not done that research, you'll not be able to answer them. And that really creates a very negative impression about you as a prospective candidate for the company. This simply shows that you're not interested and you're just simply trying out for the job opportunities, right? So the pro tip here is to do a proper research about the company, understand the company profile, understand what the company does, understand what are the different types of products and services the company offers, and also understand if that company's vision and mission aligns with ours, and can we be the right fit in the company, right? So if we do the right research, we'll understand if we are the potential candidate for the company or not. And if you do that right, then you can be definitely a good fit for the company. Without doing research about the company, never ever apply for any job opportunities in the company, right? So that was the third major mistake that we do. And the fourth mistake is understanding the job opportunities, right? So different kinds of companies have different kind of job opportunities. Even let's say pharmacovigilance associate is one type of opportunity. And if the same profile it exists for different companies, then there are different profile roles that plays gets into in these profiles as well. So understanding the different types of job opportunities is very, very important, so that we can distinguish what actually fits in, what where we actually fit in for the job profile, right? So understanding the job opportunity, if you don't understand that, what happened, you'll not be able to utilize your skills and knowledge, right? If you're not understanding the opportunities or the job opportunities, you won't be able to utilize your skills and knowledge. So that's a problem that happens. The second thing that happens is you lose interest in the job over a period of time. So let's say you have not understood the job opportunity, you got into the company, you get the role, and then over a period of time, what happens? You start losing interest because you're not giving 100%, and somewhere you feel that, okay, I'm not being utilized in the company well, and then you lose interest in the job, right? So what happens? You stay in the company, but you start searching for another job role, okay? And what happens when you do this? Naturally, your experience will not be good, and you'll keep shifting from one company to another. So do that homework, understand the job profile better, and then job description. Read the job description properly, do research about the job profile. And this way, what happens, once you understand the job role, then it becomes really easier for you to apply for the company. And then you'll actually know whether you fit in for the job profile or not. And once you fit in, then only you should actually apply for the job profile. Yeah, so that was the fourth one. Lack of job employable skills. We have a lot of employability skills that we lack, especially in the pharmacy, right? We have those 10, 15 different employable skills, like communication skills, basic team leadership skills, basic math skills, right? So those are some of the basic skills that we lack. And if we lack those employable skills, then what happens? These are the things that happen. It becomes hard for recruiters to give you a position. Every company wants people with good skills, right? And if we lack those skills, then it becomes difficult for the recruiters to give us a position. Now, suppose that even though we lack the skills, the recruiter has given a position to us, right? Many times it happens. It also makes us less confident. It becomes difficult for us to actually enjoy that position because we actually lack those skills. So what is the tip? The tip is to do a skill gap analysis, right? Understand what are the requirements by different companies, and then make a list of all the skills we have, and then understand what is the gap between those skills, right? So doing a skill gap analysis helps you to learn the skills we lack, and this way what will happen, over a period of time, we perfect those skills. Once we perfect those skills, once we become competent enough, then we should start applying. If you're not job employable, or if you lack those basic skills, then please do not apply. First, do a skill gap analysis and understand what are the different kinds of skills that the industry needs, and what are those skills that we lack as individuals, and then we should start working on them. And the easiest way is to make a list of the skills needed, to make a list of what skills we have, and then see how much time we need to start preparing, gaining those skills, right? Make a timeline and then start working on each of the skills. Of course, not all the skills can be learned so fast, but whatever possible to the best extent, complete those skills, learn those skills. And once you are confident, then apply. You may not match 100% of the job profile that every company wants. It is impossible. But at least if you match 30 to 40%, or at least 50% of the job profile, you should give a try. But for that, it is important for us to understand the skills the company needs and the skills we have, and what is the skills that we are lacking. Only if we know what the skills we lack, then we can work on those skills. And if you don't do that homework, it becomes difficult for us to actually learn those skills and apply for those companies. Yeah. Was that clear? If that was clear, type CLR in the chat box. CLR stands for clear, right? Let's see if that is clear. Perfect, thank you. And then let's go on. Was it clear? Yes, perfect, thank you. Thank you, Avinash, for joining on from YouTube. Thank you, and let's continue. So next mistake that we make is we don't tailor our resume, right? So tailoring our resume means to update our resume as per the job description required by the company. Now, when we create our first resume, we can put each and everything that we have as skills and knowledge, all the achievements we can put. But whenever we are applying for a position, it is very, very important for us to update our resume as per the job description that the company has given. And if sometimes what happens, the company does not give the job description, the easiest way is to search for another similar job roles and see what is the kind of requirements companies has, right? This way you can understand. So what happens when you don't tailor your resume, right? If you don't tailor your resume, it shows that you lack the basic effort. You lack the basic effort and interest in the job role. That simply shows that you are not interested in the job role, and simply you are trying to send your resume just for the sake of applying, right? So that definitely creates a very, very negative impression for you in the mind of the recruiter, right? And you don't want to showcase that you don't want to put any effort for the tailoring your resume, right? And you also don't want to showcase that you lack interest in that job role. If you don't want to do that, then please spend some time and tailor your resume. Another thing that happens is if you're not tailoring your resume, then the recruitment team does not understand what you want from the recruitment team, right? So let's say there is a vacancy for pharmacovigilance associate, and in your resume you have put area of interest, medical writing, data, clinical data management, clinical research, and even pharmacovigilance. So all the 4 different types of profiles you have put as an interest. Now, if the recruitment team is hiring you or trying to see your resume, they get confused. They don't know whether actually you are interested, or let's say, what is the guarantee that you are actually interested in this profile, because your area of interest shows 4 different profiles. And what is the guarantee that tomorrow, if you get a better position in medical writing or maybe clinical data management, you'll not shift from this to that position, right? So that creates a very negative impression again. So it is important for us to always have a job specific resume. And how do you do that? First thing first is create a master resume. So always have a master resume. The master resume can be 10-15 pages or maybe even 20 pages, where you have put everything about you, all the different achievements that you have achieved over a period of time with respect to your skills, knowledge, trainings, and education, right? 4 aspects. And what happens whenever you apply for a specific job, tailor your resume for that job, right? So modify your resume for that particular job. And by doing this, you are actually showcasing that you are interested in that job. You are actually putting your effort to update your resume. And this way you can tell the recruitment team that actually you are interested in this job profile. Another important reason why we must tailor our resume is recruitment team does not have much time. They have hardly 7 or 8 seconds to see a resume or glance a resume. And if they really find it interesting, they go do the further processing of the resume. Another reason why it is so important for tailoring your resume is the applicant tracking systems, right? Most of the companies these days, they use tools for tracking and tracking your applications. When you apply through online websites, it itself is an applicant tracking system. And if your resume does not contain those specific keywords, and the recruiter has created certain kind of filters, then your resume gets rejected. And in many companies, you see, if the resume gets rejected, then you don't get a chance to apply for the next 3 months, 6 months, or even 1 year. So that is a standard for many of the companies. And it is written on almost all the companies' career page. And all you have to do is put a little extra effort and understand the requirements from the company and apply only if we qualify for that job profile. And if you don't qualify, then the best thing is simply do not apply, right? So if you're simply just for the sake of applying, if you're applying, then it is not a good thing to do, right? If you just want a hands-on experience, the best thing is take the help of your friends who can just review your resume and give a mock interview with them. This way you can practice, but then just for the sake of practicing, don't send your resume to the recruiters. It creates a very, very negative impression. And maybe when you actually need a job, your resume might have been blacklisted by the ATS systems of these portals, right? So if it is blacklisted, then you don't get a chance to apply again within next 3 months, 6 months, or even 1 year time. Okay, so that's the importance of tailoring your resume. Okay, was that clear? Type CLR if that was clear. Yes, let's see if that was clear. It's so important for us to tailor our resume. Okay, all right, next, moving on. Thank you for your responses. Let's move on. Now, another mistake that we made is we simply apply for every single position that is available, right? So we use one resume and we keep sending whenever we get some vacancies, right? That's a big mistake, right? And what happens if you apply for too many jobs? Let's see what happens. First thing is it becomes difficult to focus on most relevant opportunities. You have one resume and there are 15 different types of positions. So simply you start sending your resume to all the different profiles, right? You're not focused on one specific type of job opportunity. And this is definitely not the right way to do, right? You can't stand out, right? So you are just one more candidate for the recruiter here. You are not standing out because you're not specifically applying for one job, right? You become one of the other candidates who are also applying. It also suggests that you are least interested in that job profile or the company, right? So you don't want any company to understand that you are not interested in the role, right? Because only when the company knows that you are interested for that profile, they actually take the hiring decision in favor of you. And if you showcase that you're not interested in that job profile, then why would a company hire you? Simple logic, right? If you're not interested, then why somebody hire you, right? So now what you should do, you should apply for a job profile that actually you fit in. Only if you fit in a particular profile, then only you should apply. Otherwise, you should not apply for that job profile. Okay, that is so important. And next one is unprofessional email address. Now, what is unprofessional email address? Right? Your email address does not have your name. That can be your unprofessional email address. Maybe something like this. Okay, something like this. Say, for example, ninjaskills435@gmail.com, happybuddy@gmail.com. In all of this, it creates so much of confusion. Ninja skills. So is it I or L? Nobody knows, right? What is that 435 in the email ID? What is that underscore or space, right? So it becomes confusing for the recruiter to understand if your email ID is not a professional one, right? So professional email ID is simply your email ID with your name, right? If you put an unprofessional email ID, it creates a very bad first impression, right? First impression is always the best impression, so you don't want to miss that. Create a professional email ID, and it also makes difficult for the hiring manager to contact you, right? They don't contact you if they don't like your email ID also many times. The best thing to do here is, it's a pro tip again, create an email ID that has your name, right? So in case your name for the email ID does not exist, maybe you can put one more two extra words or letters, but then otherwise it's good to have an email ID with your name, right? It becomes easier to remember, and it also becomes easier for anybody to contact you back, right? So always have a professional email ID, and this professional email ID you should maintain for all your professional communication. Maybe if you want an unprofessional email ID for all these different social media platforms and all, it is okay, but don't use the same thing when you're applying for job opportunities, right? Was that clear? Yes, type clear if that was clear and you understood this. It is important for us to have email IDs that actually are representative of our names. Yeah, perfect. Let's go on to the next one. What is the next one? The next one is, we are not prepared for the interviews, right? This is one major common mistake that we do. We just, got some update from the friend, and he said, okay, there is an opportunity coming in. Why don't you apply? And we just simply started sending our resume. And with our good luck, we may have got an opportunity to attend the interview. Now, if you're not prepared for the interview, what happens? This is what happens. You create a very first bad impression, right? You may lose a chance to stand out. And first impression is always the best impression for any recruiter, right? So you go unprepared, the recruiter asks some basic questions with respect to your profile, with respect to your skills, with respect to the company. and then we are not able to answer. So what happens? The impression is created, which is really bad. And sometimes it is also that impression goes for the entire college. So let's say I'm representing my college, and they know that, okay, the student is from this college. Then they just give a generalized view saying that all the students from this college are like this. Okay, they don't come prepared, and they simply come for a taking a chance with us for an interview. It's a waste of time for the recruiters, right? They're struggling. The recruiters are really struggling to hire the best candidate, and by not going for the interview as prepared candidate, we we create a negative impression. We might also lose a chance to stand out, right? And let's say what happens, let's say 5 of us go from the same college and attend the same interview, and we all go unprepared. Then it creates a mass bad impression for the college, right? And next time if somebody from that college comes, then the recruiter already knows that this might be also the guy who has not prepared. He might not even call him for the interview, because we have already created that negative impression for the college. Okay, so if we want to avoid all of that, then the best thing is to prepare, right? And when you are not preparing, it also showcases you as an incompetent person, right? Incompetent professional. Sorry about the typo in the professional, but then it is important for us to showcase ourselves as a competent professional, right? So what is the best way? The best way is to prepare the interview from with the basics. And we should always understand what are the most commonly asked questions for job profiles. We should always do a preparation for ourselves and be the star, right? So star is a method we follow in our 5 o'clock learning classes, and then we train the students as to how that student can be a star by following that method, right? So always follow that method and be a star, be prepared, be well prepared for the interviews. That really helps you to stand out from the rest of the crowd, right? That was the next one. And that's it for today's class. Thank you so much. It was very simple class. I just did a basic recap of everything, and we'll take up some questions. If you have any questions, please do ask, and then we are good to go for today. All right. Thank you. So let's see if you have any questions. If you have any questions, you can put in the chat box, and then I'll take out the questions from there. Let's see what questions you have. Any questions? And I do this 5 o'clock classes, 5 o'clock every single day, 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So if you're interested to learn more of these skills, you can attend these classes, which happen from 5 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning, every Monday to Friday. Every day it happens from Monday to Friday. And in these classes, we learn all of these skills, whatever I have told just now. And this will definitely help you to stand out from the rest of the crowd, and definitely help you to crack interviews from different companies that you're trying to. Okay. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and we'll try to answer some of the questions that you have in your mind, and otherwise we're good to go. If you want me to review your LinkedIn profile also, you can send me the link, and then we can review 1 or 2 profiles for you. All right. Yes, so Avinash, Rashmita, Lakshmi, thank you. If you have any questions, you can always ask. Okay. All right. So if you want to ask, please do ask. No problem. We'll take the questions for you. So those of you who are my students in the 5 o'clock class on Zoom, you can always ask the question. I've already shared the Zoom link in our respective WhatsApp group also, right? So the next batch will start from Monday, and it's important for all of us. So send me your LinkedIn profile link. We'll just do a review, and then we'll see what can be improved and how we can go ahead about it. So if you send your LinkedIn profile, I'll do a live review right now. On the chat box, you can put your LinkedIn profile link. If you're on Zoom, you can put in the chat box, or if you're watching on YouTube, then you can put in the chat box on YouTube as well. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so one question is from Rashmita. What is the good way to apply for a job? LinkedIn, career, or third party? One of the best way is to reach out through a reference. That's the best way you can do. And the second best way is to try with LinkedIn. Okay, you can build a good reputation of yours on LinkedIn, And if you can do it over a period of time, then it becomes easier for you to connect to the recruiters, connect to the company professionals, and also apply for that job. Yes. Perfect. So any more questions? Let's see. You can ask me directly on Zoom. Whenever you are there on Zoom, you can directly ask. You can just raise your virtual hand on Zoom. You can unmute, and then we can ask. We can learn from each other. All right, so I'll review one profile. Let's see. So what is this profile? Let's have a look. Okay. So let me know if you're able to see the screen, and I'll review one profile for you. Type Y in the chat box if you can see the screen. Yes. All right, perfect. So let's do a review for Lakshmi's profile. Yeah. So Lakshmi, Priyanka, here is your review. The first thing is put your picture, in a proper way, maybe with a smiling face. The face has to be clearly visible. That's the first thing, because your face is a very important connecting factor whenever people come to your profile, right? Second thing is you can put a background behind your profile picture. The background should talk something about you and your interests, right? So what interest you have in, what is the future plan you have, what is the kind of profile you are looking at. When you just create that, it becomes easier for people to connect, right? So just create some nice background. You can use simple PowerPoint presentation, PPT, to create this background, or you can just use, there are a lot of online tools also, you can use any of them to create the profile, right? We also learned some softwares during our sessions, so you can use any of that to create this. That's the first thing, right? When you are seeing student and at MGR Educational Research Institute, all of this is not needed. Simply say what you are studying. Are you studying B Farm? Are you studying PharmD? Are you studying M Farm? Because you see, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute is already showcased there next to your name. So you don't have to put the same thing again here. All you can do is, maybe you can say pursuing M Farm, pharmacology, or pursuing PharmD, whatever course you are pursuing, you can just simply put that, right? And along with that sentence, this particular sentence, you can put another sentence saying that what is your, future job profile would be like. So let's say if you're interested in medical writing, so you can say pursuing M.Pharm pharmacology, interested in medical writing. Okay, so something like that. One sentence if you put, whenever somebody comes to your profile, they know that you are interested in this particular profile. Okay, so that's the first, second thing that you should do. Third thing is, you should very actively post content. So let's say now you have posted something 3 days back that was based on one of our class, 5 o'clock classes, that you have posted something, but try to post more often. Okay, I'll also show you how you can post better. Okay. So let's say, for example, on this one, right, you have posted all of this learnings. That is good. Okay. You could have tagged me, right? So if you tag me, then I also get a notification, and maybe I can like this post. Now you have not tagged, so this reach will not be so high. If you want to increase the reach of the post, then start tagging the person who has connected you, right? So you have, right now you have, say, for example, done PharmD. So maybe you could have put PharmD here or pursuing PharmD here. Right, you have already spoken so nicely about this employability skill. Maybe you can explain a little bit more about this. If possible, try to put a picture also of the employability skills there. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And tagging is important. Put the full names correctly. In case my name here, you have written my name, which is not right, correct. It is wrong. There is one more additional A in my name. Okay, so that is something that we should always remember. So that was the second thing. And third thing here is, there is nothing else on your profile, right? So except for education, you have not put anything else. You have put interests. In your interest, there are only 2 companies or 4 companies. There is no skills you have added. So you can add skills, you can add your volunteering activity. If you have received any certifications during the last few, maybe 1 or 2 years, you can add those certificates here. There are a lot of options to add the certificates, right? So when you add the certificate, it creates a good impression for you amongst the recruiters. And also add a lot of skills. You can add up to 50 skills on LinkedIn. And when you add a skill, other friends of your or other colleagues of you can go and do an endorsement. And when they endorse your skills, it showcases that your skills is more valid and more people know about your skills. You can also get recommendations from your colleagues or maybe from faculty members, from your alumni. When you get the recommendations, you can put that recommendation also on your LinkedIn profile. So right now, your profile is not so complete. Please complete your profile. And once your profile becomes complete, then when you become active on LinkedIn, it will showcase to the recruiters. Try to use as much keywords in your profile. So keywords means, let's say you are interested in medical writing, put more of medical writing related keywords in your profile. So what happens when you add a lot of keywords? Your profile gets showcased, right? So you see there is a search bar here on the top of LinkedIn, the search bar. So when people search specific keywords, those keywords are, you pick up your profiles and start showcasing on those searches, right? So let's say, for example, if I search for medical writing here, okay, let's say, for example, I search for medical writing. Okay, so you see, you have an option to see all these different peoples, okay, who are there. You can search for companies, you can search for posts, you can search for jobs, you can search for different groups, events, products, schools, courses, services. So many things you can search in medical writing alone, right? So keywords are very, very important, and keywords help you to get visible through these LinkedIn searches, right? LinkedIn is one of the best search engine for job profiles and professional connections. So please use that profile LinkedIn platform, use correctly. Yeah. So, okay, perfect. That's all about that review of your profile. If you have any more profiles to be reviewed, let me know, and then we can review 1 or 2 profiles. All right. So was that useful? Let me know. Unable to join LinkedIn. I don't know why. You can simply connect that. Click on the link and you should be able to join. I have already put in our WhatsApp group. Yeah. All right, let me review one more profile and then we'll go. So who's the next profile? It's Rashmita Krishnamurthy. Okay, Rashmita, just let me know if you can see that. Just give me a hands up, maybe thumbs up, and let's see if you can see the profile. Yeah, you can see. Yes, perfect. Okay, so let's see. This is your profile, right? So one thing that you could do is maybe your face. If you can smile and capture a picture, it'll be really nice. When you're smiling, it really connects the users, right? And your face has to be a little more clearly visible. The face has to cover 70% of this circle, and remaining things can be a plain background. So this photo is fine. The only thing missing is your smile. So add that smile and maybe you can re-click. Don't take a selfie. Ask somebody to take the picture on a plain background and upload that picture. That should be okay. And have that smile on the face when you're taking the picture. Yeah, that's the first thing. Again, there is no background behind, right? So you see this plain section on your behind your photo. That's the background. You can put a background that can actually talk about what you are interested in. Okay, and again, same thing, just like Lakshmi. Here also, when you say M.Pharm pharmacology, don't put graduate. Yeah, graduate is for B.Pharm, so don't have to put graduate here. Simply say pursuing M.Pharm pharmacology, and here itself you can say interested in medical writing, medical affairs, or whatever. But put one profile at a time. Don't put here. If you say you're open to work as an associate, and there are so many different profile roles you have put, right? So you are working, interested in clinical research, clinical coordinator, medical writer, regulatory affairs, all of that you are interested in. It does not look nice to the recruiter. So let's say if a recruiter is looking for somebody who's in medical writing, Then if you have put only medical writing, it actually inspires that regulator to, okay, call for next round of interview or first round of interview. But if the recruiter sees that you're interested in 4 different things, that does not showcase your expertise, right? So put only one profile at a time when you are applying for a position, right? So that's the second one. And also, if you see Vishweshpura Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, that logo is missing. So search for the college where there is a logo of the college, right? So when you put the logo of the college, it gets connected to your profile, and whenever there is some update happening, that also showcases you here. So that's an important one. So put the details here just below your profile. And here, see, already you have completed MPharm, right? So here pursuing is not needed and graduate is also not needed. Maybe you simply say that looking for medical writing positions, or maybe looking for regulatory affairs positions and all of that, yeah. And here also you see there are so many things you have put. All of that is not needed. Put only one. Do a SWOT analysis of your profile and then identify one role that where you can actually fit in, right? So always put that one role. It will help you to actually stand out. Okay, that's important one. And yeah, all of that is fine. Maybe you can put in bullet points. When you put in bullet points, the readability of that content looks a little fine. And again, you don't have to put all these college details here because it is already there on the profile. So maybe put as much possible less text here. Okay, so the lesser the text here, the more information you give actually. Okay. An activity, again, if you see, okay, one day back you have posted something, this is 3 days back. So try to post, a little more consistently, and that will definitely help you. And now let's come to the education section. Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya is perfectly fine with that logo. It has come, right? So that is the correct one. Similarly, for Oxford College of Pharmacy, select the one with the logo, okay? And when you're putting Bachelor of Pharmacy, it is B.Pharm, right? So B.Pharm, that is how it has to come. And again, you don't have to put pharmacy there, okay? So you can check that and change that. And maybe you can put the list of some of the subjects that you studied. There is an option to add more skills on the college details itself. So maybe you can put that I've studied this subject. So then what happens if somebody is looking for those specific profiles, then it gets connected to your search, your profile, right? Similarly, here also, first thing first is logo and the college name is not appearing correct. So maybe it is not the right one. Change that to the correct one. Then it is not M Pharma, okay? It is M.Pharm within brackets pharmacology. That is how we write. So please write that correctly. And once you write that correctly, you can also talk about the specific subject that you have liked in your MPharm pharmacology, specific topic that you have liked. Maybe you can also talk about the MPharm project research that you have done in that section. So that also inspires many people to, understand your strengths and skills, right? So let's say you have done some animal experiment, or maybe let's say you have done some industry related experiments. So if you write that here, it becomes easy for the recruiters to actually connect with you there, okay? And then maybe skills, you have put 3 skills currently, presentations, Microsoft, okay, you have put 9 skills. See if you can add more skills, more relevant skills here, okay? When you are adding more relevant skills, then what happens is more and more, people start endorsing you over a period of time. And the more endorsements you get over a period of time, the better it is for you. Yeah, the better it is for you to reach out to people. You can try joining on Zoom also. Now let's see, I have just opened that for you. Yeah, so that was second one. Okay, interest is fine. You started following Dr. Kiran Majumdar. That is good. Maybe you can follow some more of the pharmacy professionals or the MDs and CEOs of the companies. That will always give you a lot of feedbacks and a lot of updates from the pharmaceutical industry. You can learn a lot of skills from LinkedIn also, from the LinkedIn learning. That is something you can do. Yeah. So I hope that was helpful. Type helpful if that was helpful. Yeah. All right. So moving on. Perfect. Any more profiles you have? Let me know. Good afternoon, Balakrishna. Thank you for joining on YouTube. Yes. All right. Okay, so that's it. We don't have any more profiles. If you have any questions, you can ask me. and we are good to go for today. Any more questions? Kaushika, Lakshmi, Rashmita, and all this. All right. So we have reviewed 2 profiles and we learned some most common mistakes that we did do while searching for jobs as candidates. So let's not make those mistakes. Yeah, so it is good to learn from others' mistake, right? So I have done a lot of mistakes during my career search. Many of the students are doing, so I've just tried to compile all of that for you today. So learn from that and don't make those mistakes on your profiles. And keep learning. That is very, very important. The more you learn, it will definitely help you to grow in your career. And if you're interested to join on my 5 o'clock learning classes, please do join every Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday, morning 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. We do these classes and I teach all of these skills there. And this will definitely help you out to understand better. And if you learned something, please pass on this information to others. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel so that when I post more of this content, it reaches to you and you get an information about it. You get a notification on the YouTube to join those live sessions. And I'll be doing more of subscriber only contents. And if you have not subscribed, then you may miss out those contents. So join the YouTube channel to get connected and keep learning from those videos. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time. It was great interacting with you. And we reviewed a couple of profiles, update those profiles and stay active on LinkedIn. Keep posting contents on LinkedIn. And that's how you start building your brand and start building a reputation on LinkedIn. And once you have done that, then searching job becomes not so difficult for you. All right. So thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you, Rashmita, Balakrishna. And who else? Okay, who else is there? Kaushika, all of you. Thank you so much. Abhinash, thank you so much for joining from YouTube. Yes, we'll reconnect again on some other learning journey. If you have joined my 7 p.m. classes, so our classes will happen at 7 p.m. today. So don't forget to join. Yeah, thank you so much. We'll meet again. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. We'll meet again. Yes, thank you. Don't make those mistakes. If you don't make those mistakes, yes, I know that you have learned something. Whenever we learn something, we should actually apply that knowledge. And if you don't apply that learning, then it is useless, right? So knowing without doing is useless. So when you learn something, do that. And if you've done something, teach that same thing to others, because I cannot reach out to everyone, right? So if you can teach maybe 10 people, 5 people, then together collectively we can teach more and more people. So more information, more of our students learn these basic things, the better it is for all of us, right? So let's learn more from each other. And if you have queries, you ask, so that if I don't know, it's okay. Maybe I'll search, I'll do my research, and then maybe I'll come back to you with my learnings, right? So not all of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. I don't consider myself perfect at all. I keep learning every single day, right? And I learn from you because you ask me a lot of questions. And when you ask questions, if I don't know, I do my research, I come back to you with those learnings, and that is how we learn together. Okay, so perfect. Thank you so much for your time. We'll meet next Saturday again at 2 p.m. And if you're part of my 5 o'clock classes, 5 o'clock in the morning classes, then we have the next batch starting from Monday. If you're part of my 7 p.m. classes, then every Saturday, 7 p.m., we learn some new skills. And these skills are important for our life and both professional and personal life, right? So thank you so much. We'll meet again very, very soon. Thank you. Take care. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining.